Let's go. Yo. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast. And that's facts.
All right, Chicago, rise and grind with your favorite sports coffee talk. It's time for Coffee with Trax. I'm your host, the one, the only, Brandon Trax Hyatt, and we are diving deep into Bears territory this morning. The Bears are on a mission, folks, a mission to find the next leader, the next visionary, the next coach to take this team to glory. They've been interviewing everyone and your mama. And I mean everyone. But something big, something special has just happened, and we've got the scoop for you. We've got the passion and we've got the energy. So grab your coffee because we're about to spill the beans on the Bears' next head coach. Let's dive into what you all came here for, the Bears coaching saga. All right, Bears Nation, listen up. The Chicago Bears are not just looking for a coach. They're on a quest for a legend. They've interviewed folks from all walks of football life. But here's where it gets juicy. According to The Athletic, the Bears have welcomed former Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy into Halas Hall for an in-person interview. This wasn't just some routine chat. They flew McCarthy in on a private jet. That's right, a private jet. The Chicago Bears? This isn't the Bears we've seen before. This is a Bears organization that's saying, we want you, Mike McCarthy. Now let's break this down for you. McCarthy was the man who guided Aaron Rodgers to an MVP season, who crafted one of the most dynamic offenses in the NFL that we've ever seen. With McCarthy, the Cowboys had moments where they looked unstoppable. He made Dak look great. Let's talk about the specifics, though. McCarthy's interview follows that of Ron Rivera, another seasoned coach with Bears history. But the gesture of a private plane, that's a statement. When you talk in terms of where they look at Chicago Bears and what they do with their money, there's a joke, a long time joke. You guys have all heard it. And it's that the McCaskies look at nickels the size of dime holes, the size of manhole covers. The McCaskies look at nickels the size of manhole covers. What does that mean? That means that they are cheap. Now, they're not cheap all the time, but they're cheap when it matters. And right now, they can't afford to be cheap. You can't put a guy on coach. You can't send him Greyhound. You can't Uber him or taxi, whatever. A private jet is pretty freaking amazing in terms of when they had Ryan Poles come in as a GM. Listen, they picked him up at the freaking airport. And I don't even know if he rode first class, to be honest with you. So you've got a GM in the building who got less of a welcome than Mike McCarthy. Now, this isn't saying that the Chicago Bears are getting Mike McCarthy. This is saying to me that they pulled out all the stops in bringing him here in a private jet. Okay? And from there on out, listen, you don't just put a guy in a private jet and then feed him Lunchables. You don't send him through McDonald's and get him, although he might like it. He looks like he potentially likes a few Big Macs. He likes to go on the Super Size Me plan. He likes to, listen, the man likes his food. And who doesn't? I can't knock him for that. I'm just saying the whole thing about the private jet signals that they're very interested and very serious about this guy. They've done all of these Zoom meetings, these virtual meetings, and all this and that. They've brought people in. They've brought a lot of people in, but none of them on a freaking private jet. Not even the freaking GM that's already in the building. He's got to be saying, wow, the head coach is more important than the GM. I didn't get that treatment. You know how it is when guys get the butt hurtedness and all of that. And they're like, the whole Me Too clause comes in and they're like, well, I didn't get that treatment. How come he's the head coach, I'm the GM. So with that being said, that's pretty impressive, man. Pulling out all the stops, getting him in the building, and everything after that. I'm pretty sure that they had a really nice meal. I mean, why would you bring him in there and just, graze him with a salad and some water or something? Let's give this boy a healthy, hearty steak. At the very least, let's get him some Chicago style pizza, some Portillo's. Listen, all hands on deck, man. Let's feed the king, okay? I mean, even on the jet, heck, he might have been eating on the jet. Who knows? What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments below what you think Mike McCarthy ate on the jet. Do you think that he just casually just ate some peanuts and got himself a little soda or something? You think he went hard? You think he did some cocktails? You think he knocked back some cocktails? Had some some food on the way there and then ate there also? Hey, listen, if I'm going to Chicago and I'm going to Halas Hall with everything that's going on with this shit show, I'm going to make sure that I have a couple drinks in me to loosen me up, I'm just saying, things ain't really been all that great, and I need a little bit of help to get me across the finish line. And who else is there? Who do you guys think is there? You think that they're going to have somebody there, some of the old Chicago Bear greats? You think Caleb's there to have a little discussion? You think Swift is there? Some receivers, some defensive players? You think they'd had the big war room that they've got? You can't even see the other end of the table, and they've got all of the chairs lined up, and they're saying, hey, you sit here, you sit here, you sit here. They got all these guys. They didn't invite tracks. Leave in the comments below if you think they should have brought a fan in the building to voice our opinion through me. I think I should have been there. That would have been great. But let's get back to some of the details that we do know, okay? I'm just saying. That's a statement, bringing them in on a private jet, man. That's pretty fancy. It's like we're not just interested. We're committed, okay? We're getting in bed with you, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink. Now think about this Mike McCarthy's philosophy, okay? His offensive playbook could be the perfect match for Caleb. Any quarterback he's ever got a hold of, he's always blossomed, man. You go from Favre to freaking Rodgers to now, Dak Prescott. Dak's bummed out. He was on record saying he was bummed out. Mike McCarthy was the guy that, Micah Parsons got on there and said, hey, listen, this is bad, folks. We don't know what direction we're going on in. This is a total reboot. We're devastated that McCarthy has left the building, okay? Now, I know before you guys get disappointed, again, if you're not on Team Mike, there's also room for Team Ben. Reports came out last night that Ben is seriously interested in considering that, the job in Chicago. Now, 5 months ago, it was already debunked by Cap that 5 months ago he hired his agent, and his agent is from Chicago. So that helps out a little bit in terms of, having somebody in the building that's like close to it, in the area that's close to the building and all that kind of stuff. But hey, listen, for whatever reason, you can break it all down and see, who's your favorite guy. Leave in the comments below who your favorite guy is, who you like, who your team should be around. Who do you want to take the challenge? Do Do you want to take the risk of having a first time head coach, a guy that's a good coordinator, um, might not understand the nuances of defense and special teams and all that, might only be able to lead one side of the ball and get overly, uh, you see what happened with Thomas Brown. They just threw him in there. Now you get a little bit more time, but with the underwear Olympics and all that, spring training and all that, the camps and all that, the draft, you get all of that. But it actually in game on the field of battle, now all of a sudden it's a fresh first new look. He's got 50 plus men that he's got to focus on and take care of, and all the coaches underneath him. He only has a select few in his staff. Now he's going to freaking triple, quadruple his staff. You know what I mean? There's a lot to be considered about a head coach. So, leave it in the comments below. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you're team Mike McCarthy, your team Ben, or if you don't care about either or, and you just potentially want the best choice available and pray to God and hope that whoever it is the right guy. And maybe it might be Monken. Maybe it's another guy. But right now, let's get back into this whole philosophy of Mike McCarthy and what he looks like. Now, you guys remember that Caleb openly has admired Aaron Rodgers. They talk constantly. The Packers were his team before he became a Bear. Now he's a diehard Chicago Bear. He's been on record saying that. But he also is a fan of Tom Brady. But this whole thing with Mike McCarthy and Rodgers, this connection, there's something there also. But now, Caleb's also said that he wants an offensive-minded head coach, but he also wants to be there with them for 15, 17 years. So I think at the ripe age of 62, 17 years from now, he'll be playing till he's like 79. Now, either Caleb can't math well, from USC, or, he wants a younger guy. I know he likes Ben. I know he likes, Mike. Those type of coaches. He hasn't came out and said anything a whole lot about Mike. I'm sure he likes Pete Carroll, but what he said about the 19 years or whatever, and that's pretty good. I like the way that he's saying. You guys leave that in the comments below if you like that Caleb is talking about being a Chicago Bear for the next 19 years and not just doing a one-time stint and then getting the heck out of Dodge and packing his bags, because that's what everybody was talking about. That's what the media was talking about. And that's what some of you fans were talking about. That's right. That your boy was just going to come in. He was going to be a diva and he was going to leave the Chicago Bears after we draft him, and that he might just pull an Eli Manning and not even come to the Chicago Bears. Remember all that? How quickly it has changed. So the way that the media drives things in one direction and the other and backbites each other, and one report saying this and one report saying that, even with Ian Cunningham and Adam Schefter, you can see conflicting reports where one guy thinks this way and one guy says the other, and it's driven that way. And really, like it can be said many times, nobody will know which way this is going. Only the people in the building will know who their target is, who they want, who their guy is, who their plan action, their A plan, their B plan, their C plan. And you can't really give that up, because if plan A falls through, you can't let B know that he was second fiddle. Or plan C, you can't let him know that he was third fiddle. I mean, that's just bad. So you can't let everybody know who your guy is that you're courting, because I mean, I love their due diligence. I think they got it right. I think coming in and talking to everybody and trying to figure this out, talking to all these people, with guys like Poles that have some football knowledge and Kevin Warren that's got some football knowledge, sitting this guy down, talking to them, everything that they're doing, I think they got it right. They can't fly out Ben on a jet yet. He's still playing freaking football. It's got to be virtual until that's all done. So, but yeah, again, Getting back to Caleb, openly admiring Rodgers and Mike McCarthy, the architect behind Rodgers' success. Imagine that synergy in Chicago. But beyond the quarterback position, McCarthy brings a level of experience and a proven track record of tuning teams around and turning them around, rather. Uh, this could be the Bears' moment to redefine their offense identity. Could you imagine us actually having a freaking identity and what that would look like? I mean, seriously, guys, that would be unbelievable to actually have a freaking football identity, to have an architect who's had 11 playoff wins, a Super Bowl visit, quarterbacks that just gush over him. And, he knows how to handle these guys, man. He really does. So that's it. But I want to hear from you, Bears fans. What are your thoughts about Mike McCarthy potentially becoming the next head coach? Personally, I think it would be a good thing. I could see the pros and cons to both. I mean, he kicked our butts for many years. I'm going to get with you guys in the chat in a little bit. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you're a first-time viewer. If you're new to the show, I'm Brandon Trax Hyatt. We're on all the time. We got Coffee with Trax. We've got everything in the middle, Monsters of the Madhouse. We do live shows, live events. We do studio shows, virtual. So, hey, we do After Dark with Trax. One of our guys, Plank, our longtime viewer, one of our MVPs of the building. He made a couple ideas, man, and we ran with it, and it's been great. I'm a fan. I'm a former player. I'm in close connections with the Chicago Bears. I've been on the sideline, been in the locker room, interviewed guys, been up in the press box, been to Canton, Ohio for Mongo and Hester's enshrinement, worked the media. I'm just like you. I'm a fan like you. This show is a fan created for fans, okay? I don't know shit. That's my disclaimer. I don't know shit. I don't want to know shit. I just want this community to grow. I love you guys. You guys are awesome, okay? So if this is the first time that you've tuned in with me, or you're a longtime viewer, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for warming up your coffee and sitting down and hanging out and spending some time with me, man. Just hang on. We're going to get into the comments and bring you into the show. This is my favorite part of the show. I don't like to hear myself talk. I want to see and hear what you guys have to say. This is a live mailbag. These thoughts are responsive on what I say and what are thoughts on your mind, because I was a fan and I wanted my freaking voice to be heard, and you guys are fans and I want your guys' voice to be heard. So please just bear with me. I'm almost done, okay? Let's keep unpacking this. Here's how we're doing this. If you love the Mike McCarthy, give it an A+ in the comments. If you're like, let's see how it plays out, hit us with a C or anything in between. You can do an F, double F, FU, whatever. Let's try to keep it clean as much as possible. But if you're absolutely against it, give it an F. And here's the deal. I'll be reading some of your comments live on the show in a few, okay? But let's get into the nitty-gritty. The Bears' offense have been searching for its identity, and Mike McCarthy would be the key. His West Coast offense, with his emphasis on timing precision and quarterback-friendly plays, could turn our offense from a punchline into a powerhouse, guys. But it's not just about the system. It's about leadership. McCarthy has been there, done that. And that's what the rings to prove. And he has the ring to prove it. Now let's speculate on the draft implication. With McCarthy, the Bears might lean more into drafting players who fit his offensive mold. Think wide receivers. Who can stretch the field? Or a tight end who could be the new Greg Olsen or Jason Witten of the Bears. But what if McCarthy isn't the one? Think of it that way, guys. Maybe they decide after the private jet and whatever, maybe McCarthy isn't the one. Maybe this is a flex saying, hey, listen, I don't know anybody else in the NFL of the 5 other teams. Sorry, my math ain't math, and you guys know that. 5 other teams that are looking for a head coach. And nobody's flown their butt with a private jet. Not saying that they're going to do this again, but that's a flex saying, hey, you guys want to come to Chicago Bears? We'll send the private jet out, give you all the meals you want, drinks, whatever, wheels up, let's go, bitches. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to say to you guys, is that this might just be a flex to try to court somebody else like Ben Johnson. Like, hey, Ben, when you get done doing the Super Bowl run, Daddy's going to send you the jet. Wheels up. Let's go. Let's ride. Okay? Let's pull out the cocktails. Let's pull out the adult beverages. Let's get a nice juicy steak going for you. Let's fly in the freaking, lobster tail from Maine, all this kind of stuff. Let's get all of the Chicago Bear alumni, all the greats out. Let's get some of the guys that are in the building right now, some of the players. Let's do all of it. You know what I mean? I think this might just be a flex, just showing what they're capable of if they really court you and they really love you, and saying, hey, listen, we are turning things around. We are changing this culture. Wheels up, bitches. It's no longer freaking Shoelace Express. We're not saying you got to walk here. We're not saying you got to go Greyhound for 99 freaking dollars, if that's even a thing. And I might have just shown my age to you guys, okay? They might not, what's 99 bucks? You take a family of four through McDonald's and you can't even get stuff for 99 bucks unless you're freaking getting all Happy Meals, and that's probably 50 bucks, kids. And don't ask for an extra toy because that costs more, okay? But so, like I said, what if McCarthy isn't the one, guys? Who else should the Bears be eyeing? There's a world where the Bears could go for an up-and-coming coach, like Ben Johnson from the Lions, or perhaps even look back at an offensive mind like some of the other coordinators, like Joe Brady. They just finished his freaking interview, okay? Look at that. Or Monken. I like Monken. I think Monken's great. You guys look at Monken? Why does he look like he's the same age as Pete Carroll? That's kind of concerning, man. What's going on with that guy? Is he a chain smoker? What's going on, And, no knock on smokers out there, right? Love you guys. I'm just saying, like, look at this side by side, the comparison. Pete Carroll versus freaking Monken. Why does he look like he's the same freaking age? Like, dude, get some freaking lotion out or something. Put some lotion on the skin. Take care of yourself, buddy. You look like, is he a frequent chronic tan bed guy? Is he hit the tan bed? I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with that guy. But, dude, I'll tell you what, he's an offensive-minded guy. He's a guru, and he's been around for a while, dude. I kind of like his tenure. I like what he's doing. He's got that freaking offense humming over there. Look at that offensive line, dude. You talk about, they're like, Derrick Henry, watch the stiff arm. I'm like, yeah, he got 3-4 yards out of that stiff arm. I mean, it was impressive. Don't get me wrong. He enforced his will on that guy. But look at that offensive line. He's running through holes, and he's not a small-sized guy. You're not looking at a Darren Sproles or a little freaking mini-me running through there like Terry Cohen. You're looking at a big, full-size grown man that looks like a freaking linebacker or a defensive end running with the football. This guy's a monster, and he can fit through these holes and take it to the next level, 10, 20 yards down the field without even being touched, man, against the Steelers. My God. This is awesome. The offensive line is amazing. And they got some free agents, and we're going to do a show later on today. Listen, if we get plenty of likes and we get plenty of comments, I will do a second show for you guys, and we will freaking pour all the gravy all over them biscuits, baby, all over it. We're going to give you everything. The 2025 free agents, the most expensive ones, the cheaper ones, what the Bears are going to be looking at in free agency. And this free agency is bananas, guys, because, listen, there's a lot of teams out there that are strapped for cash. They ain't got a lot of money in the bank. That cap space is dwindling. They are looking at this draft and saying, it's deep. I mean, it's not, as far as talent goes, it might not be as good as the one before, but in terms of being deep, oh my God, there's a lot of talent all the way through it. So if you're looking to pick up guys and drop guys and whatever, we might get some diamonds in the rough. And listen, Poles might be the mastermind. He might have plugged holes and tried to do this and that and some patchwork for the last 3 years and known, looking down the road as a capologist, that this is the year to cook. This is the year to make it all work. He might be playing chess while Trax was playing freaking checkers and didn't even know how to king the bitch, you know? So I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that this is where the rubber meets the road? We got all this freaking cap space. We got all these draft picks, and we can really, really just dive in and just really help this roster out. The offensive line, the offense, the defensive line, the freaking special teams. I mean, just pour all the gravy all over them biscuits, baby. All over. Just get all of it. Get you a breakfast steak, too, and some eggs, you know. Hey, I might hand up to the corner cafe after this. I'm making myself hungry, guys. But I got to finish the show, okay? So keep those comments coming. I see you guys, man. Looks like a freak. You guys are doing great. I love you. You guys are awesome. Looks like a slot machine in here, man. Just keep freaking pulling that thing. You guys got all kinds of. We're gonna do lots of comments, dude. Hang on, man. I'm almost done with this Ben Johnson rant. Okay. Like I said, who's got Bears blood running through their veins, man? Who's got the Bears blood running through their veins like us fans do? We need one of them coaches. One guy that, and I heard Monken is a yeller. He's a screamer. He gets all fired up, you know. You want one of those guys? One that'll freaking put the hair. Some of them kids are so young they don't even have back hairs or neck hairs. But the hairs on the neck freaking stand up and be like, oh God, this guy's serious. You know what I mean? Do we need one of them? I mean, it's been a long time since we had somebody in the building. And last time they did, the 85 Bears, what did they do? They freaking imposed their will on everybody, man. They freaking killed the Patriots, right? So, like I said, who's got Bears blood running through their veins, man? And finally, let's not forget the defense. The defense is the mainstay of Chicago, guys. Blue collar, man. Freaking hit guys hard like freight trains, like Doug Plank did, you know? Impose our will. The freaking human missile. Just blow, you know? We need some of them guys. Let's think about our defense, man. And defensive coordinator. Who are they going to bring in for a defensive coordinator? Put it in the comments who you want for defensive coordinator. Now, we all know you bring in a guy that's a head coach, he's going to bring his own guys, right? That's one thing that Mike McCarthy's always been able to do is bring in his guys. He can always bring in his guys. He's got full complimentary everything. He's got a plan. He's not like, oh, well, I've been a coordinator for the Lions and I've had all these kinds of first-round draft picks for a running back and receivers and 3 first-round offensive linemen and a coach that wants to bite kneecaps off, and I can just kind of hang on to his coattails and get under his wing, and Daddy's going to protect me. So, yeah, I think I'll grab some guys from the Lions and they'll come with me. What if Daddy what if all the guys on the team that are coordinators like Daddy more than they like the son of Ben Johnson? There might be a problem there too. Where are you going to pick from next, Ben? You're freaking, you got peach fuzz on your face. You ain't even growing a freaking full beard yet, okay? I mean, you look like you're still in college. Who are you going to get? I like Ben. I would like him. He's one of my outliers for coordinators, him and Monken, okay? Not saying that. I'm just saying we got to think about both sides, all right? We need an action-packed plan, somebody that's already been there, done that, that's not a test tube baby, that's, some sort of like science project. Come to the Chicago Bears and we'll try to figure it out with you, you know? Like, I'm serious. What about if you haven't been battle tested? What if you haven't been freaking in a team that doesn't have all these draft picks because you sucked for 100 years and now you finally got all these draft picks and you got a good coach and everything works together and now you're playoff year after year and he walks right into that thing and it's like, here you go, you know? Let's see what he can do with adversity when the offensive line sucks. Or another team, you know, the Jaguars, where they suck. You know, I'm just saying, think about everything. I would welcome Ben Johnson wholeheartedly to this team. I'm a Ben Johnson fan. I'm a fan of several of these coaches, and I'm not going to be myopic and just keep my vision on one guy, okay? Like I did Caleb Williams, because obviously Jaden is the real deal also. And looking back, I don't know if he would have lasted the whole entire year with that little scrawny, I think he's a vegan or something, or he doesn't eat, or he doesn't like food much. Oh, maybe Chicago would help fill him out with some, deep, deep dish pizzas and some brats and some freaking beef sandwiches and all the good food that we got. Um, Damn, some of you guys are probably coming on here saying, "What the hell, Trax? Is this a food show?" But you know what I'm saying, guys. Like, the guy's scrawny, and if you get freaking tripped up 70 times sacks, that's a lot for a small frame. Caleb's got a pretty good sized frame. Now, say if he, Caleb's went on record and saying he knows that quite a lot of those sacks, not all of them, but maybe half, maybe 40% are his fault because he held on to the ball too long. That's still a lot of sacks, guys, regardless how much you take away from that. That's a lot of sacks for that guy. He didn't have much sacks in Washington. You know what I mean? They got a pretty good offense. I think they're like in the top 10 for offensive line. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, McCarthy has had his share of defensive coordinators, most notably, Dan Quinn there. But the Bears need someone who can complement his offensive vision. Could this be the year that they find balance on both sides of the ball and special teams also? You know what I mean? But before we wrap this up, this whole caffeinated journey with you guys, man, how do you see Mike McCarthy reshaping the Bears' offensive strategy? Do you think that he could do that? Do you think he could do that? Do you guys think Mike McCarthy could be the turnaround coach for the Bears, especially on offense? What does this mean for the Bears draft strategy, focusing on quarterback synergy? If McCarthy isn't the coach, who's your top choice for the Bears? Who's your top choice for the Bears? Final question. On a scale of A to F, how would you grade the Bears coaching search so far? How would you guys rate the Bears coaching search so far? A to F, guys. Remember, your comments fuel the show, so drop them below. Like this video, subscribe, and if you haven't already, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on all the Bears Chicago sports. Coffee with Trax, guys. So let's get in the comments, man. How you guys doing? How you guys doing out there? Oh, man, look at these comments. Oh, my gosh. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. Hey, good morning, James Childress. Let's get down to business and get to find out the coach that leads us. Yup. Yee, what up, Yee? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. James says, let's show McCarthy Chicago hospitality and show him the works. Muscle up. Good morning, Ray. Yep, claw up, baby. FGB. Oh, what up, Darius? How you doing? Ray says, I think Mike will be a good coach. My friend, bear down. I wouldn't be mad if he's a coach. Wishing everyone a safe and happy day. Bear down, fam. Bradley says, bear down. James says, I would take the plunge with McCarthy or Johnson since we couldn't land Vrabel. What up, Big Rig? David Rigdon in the building on Facebook land. Love you, Facebook land. All right, Ray. You think if we get Mike and get Quinn from Dallas defense, I would love him for defense. What do you think, my friend? Let me know. Thanks. And always bear down. Well, Quinn, are you talking about – well, you're not talking about Dan. So Dan Quinn is the head coach over at Washington, my friend. Yeah. Okay. What is Big Rig saying, man? Big Rig says from Hobart, I think actually he lived in Hobart for a long time. I think he moved out to Michigan City or something. They need to bring him in and get his coaching staff assembled. And no matter who we get in as a coach, we need to get this draft right when it comes to the line, both sides. I agree, Dave. I agree, Dave. I would love to shut the critics up when the Bears start brainstorming through the schedule. Yes, let's shut them up. Love the live, my friend. Keep the good work, my friend. You are the best. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate you. You're the best too, bro. You're one of the best followers I ever had. You make me feel good. I need to drive you around in my car so I feel good about myself all the time. You're great. A plus for the coaching. Uh, Brad LaRoe says A plus Big Mike. Definitely won't be mad to give Ben a try. Hey, listen, I agree with you. And here's the deal. What if we get 10 to 12 years with freaking, now he's 70. He finds himself some Ozempic. He starts looking good. He's healthy, starts eating his vegetables, less carbs, you know. Maybe we get him around for a little bit longer than we thought, and he's got a contingency plan and somebody that can, help him, take over the reins, so we keep all this together and this infrastructure that he built. I like his tenure a lot better than I do like some guys that are longer in the tooth, like Pete Carroll. I wouldn't be mad at Pete Carroll either, by the way. I would not be mad, especially if he can hang out at least 3 to 4 years, and I know he's got a succession plan. I know he's got that. But let's be honest. I was high on Pete Carroll before Mike was available. And remember, Trax is still big on Ben, so please don't put those words in my mouth that I'm myopic and only looking at one guy. James says, A plus, let's take care of business and silence the doubters. I love it. PSer, make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. Appreciate you coming into the show. He says we don't want Mike McCarthy. Dave says, I give this an A, but no matter who we bring for a staff, they need to address the line of scrimmage, both sides. He made that known twice, so that's important for him, man. Ray Giannis said, for sure, Mike will fix the offensive line. Bear down, families. He would protect this QB for sure. Brad says he's about to submit his application just to get to that dinner. Hey, man, you know what, Bradley? You're actually you're tracking with Trax now. I'm with you on that. I might even dress up and look like Mike and be like, hey, man, the first meal was good. Send the private jet to this address. What if I just got a helicopter? Trax came in on a helicopter, dressed up like Mike McCarthy, put a pillow underneath my shirt, kind of fluffed it out a little bit, come in and just ate so much that I didn't even have to talk. So they knew that it wasn't Trax. They thought it was Mike McCarthy, and just give him a thumbs up and be like, pen and paper, let me sign, So, yeah, I'm with you on that, Brad. Okay, James Childers says, good morning, Brad. Bear down. Me too, man. Where do I sign to get that dinner? Oh, man, I feel like we're at a tailgate, huh? Oh, I just worry that Monken is a little fool's gold because of how much higher level his players on that than we have and that O-line over there. Dude, that's what I'm talking about with freaking Ben Johnson. You're arguing my point about going from the whole, Baltimore Ravens thing and the whole Lions thing. Like, them players are legit. That whole coaching is legit. Those teams are humming. Is it fool's gold? We don't know, We are really high on our players, but we're also fans, you know what I mean? So a lot of people might not be as high on our players as we are. But I just saw a recent stat, guys. Did you know that in the first time in the history of ever, we had receivers with 300 receiving yards? I think, was it 3 receivers that had 700 receiving yards? I think that's the stat. They got a lot of good stats out here, man. A lot of good stats. What's your favorite stat of the year? What did you guys see throughout all the crap and the shit show, what was your guys' favorite whole deal of the year? Like, what really impressed you? What did you guys excite? What we're excited about? What keep you tuned? Besides being diehard freaking real Bears fans, you know, no paper chasers that just like the champions, you know. What was your favorite moment this year? And please don't say that punter. I'm disappointed that he came in 16th best punter in the NFL, man. We wasted a fourth round, not wasted. I mean, we still good, right? But a fourth round draft pick, we could have took care of Caleb and got his bell rung a little bit less. There was a lot of people out there. Guys like Buck Nasty could tell you who was available. To my knowledge right now, I can't really remember, but I do know there was some good picks in the fourth round. And to me, I think that was a little cocky, a little arrogant to go and get a punter in the fourth round, meaning we could have got another guy. What I'm interested in is trying to find out which punters were available after the first round and that did better and had better stats and wasn't the 16th best punter in the freaking NFL, okay? Um, you guys let me know when you find that out. That'd be great. I know some of you guys are really good on the keyboard, could probably freaking drum that up really quick. If not, your boy Trax has got you covered. We'll come back and reassess that and talk about it in a future show. But like I said, we only had so many picks available for this draft, and you go out and you get that guy, and then you find out at the end of the year he was mid. Come on, man. We could have done better. We could have done better, And then all the guys that went down, we could have at anywhere, even if it was an offensive line. If you guys, who would you guys like to see in the fourth round? Did you guys have anybody in particular that you're like, we need this guy? And then, we went out and got a punter instead. Not saying I don't like the kid. I love the kid. I think he's going to be great. And with a better line, he might have been able to punt better. He might have been able to punt farther. You know what I'm trying to say? And be, have better stats and whatever. And everybody's like, I was right. You guys remember that show where I was like, how dare they snipe him and not make him a Pro Bowler? Well, I found out why. He's only the 16th best freaking Pro Bowl or 16th best punter in the NFL for 2024. So can he get better? Yes, absolutely. It's his first year. He's a damn rookie. So as a rookie, he might have been one of the best rookies, maybe top 10 rookie. I don't know what it looks like, But how much do we value a damn punter anyways? I know we need him a lot, but it really didn't change the freaking game. I don't think we won more games because maybe we did. Maybe we won more games because of the damn punter. But you guys know what I'm getting at, okay? Enough with the punter. I'm done. I'm done talking about the punter. Sorry, guys. All right, let's get back to your guys' comments. Bradley says, run a second show, you say? Let's go. Maybe later on. I think my son's got something to do today, Bradley, so we could probably coordinate and try to get a show going, or I'll do a show. If you're not available, I'll run it back, and we'll do a really nice free agency show. Let's get those likes and comments up, guys. As soon as this show's over, the live chat is discontinued. It'll always be up there because that's what I like about Restream. It shows your guys's in the chat after the show, your guys' names, your comments, all your beautiful work. It's still there, but we got to circle back and put comments on YouTube then. Okay, so James says, I second that. Second show. Let's go for broke and do it. Yeah, it probably won't be right away, guys. It takes a little bit longer. My son's going to wake up, going to see if he wants to go hit the tracks with Trax. Go walk around, stretch it out, before he gets his Fortnite and video games in, You're making us all hungry, fool. Yes, I am, Buck, from Facebook land. Troy Milbourne says on January 19th, TikTok is over. I am on TikTok, and that's disappointing because we have grown as a community over there. Let's try to figure it out. Let's see where we're going to jump next. We need to have other platforms and get this out there for other Chicago Bears fans, man. Bum deal. All right, so listen. I'm locked and loaded for the Bears to kick butt, take names, and ask questions later. Sounds like you want a guy like Riverboat Ron. I wouldn't be disappointed. I would not be disappointed at all if we had Riverboat Ron. Listen, I know Mongo wants Riverboat Ron. I know for us to get an 85 Bear coach, it would be our best chance would be Riverboat Ron. 85 Bear player and now a coach. And he would also be able to help bring in other Bears players that were coaches. They used to do that a lot back in the day. They used to make Bears players, former Bears players, coaches all the time. I don't know why they got away from that, but that to my point to you guys is I would like to see that. You were absolutely right, Buckley. I'm not saying that that's my end all be all. For some people it is, some people it ain't. But I'd like to see us, restore Bear, vintage Bear play, hard nosed play hard, fight it out. I'd like to see that, and I think he would bring that. Zach Dito says he's not a fan of Mike McCarthy. It's Ben Johnson or bust for him. Zach, I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe, buddy. Hit that like button, man. Everybody hit that like button for Trek so we can run it back and have another show, baby. Oh, teams with this just in from Jonathan Jones, guys. Hold on a second. I got some breaking news here. Teams with coaching vacancies are waiting to talk to Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson in person. And the assumption is this cycle, hold on, let me get to it. This cycle could take time to shake out. But if the Commanders win tonight, jobs could start getting filled quickly. Hey, let me know. We all like the Lions. They've been battered and beaten for many years. And it's kind of nice to see them on their redemption tour and try to win big. And if they don't win big, guess what? With Aaron Glenn out of the building and Ben Johnson out of the building and Dan Campbell's the only one left, can they run it back? I mean, they'll be a lot healthier next year, but a shakeup with all the coaching and all of that and the foundation could be very difficult for them to regroup. And then they're going to be in cap hell because they're going to have to figure all these players that are first-round draft picks that are balling out of control out. So if they don't win it this year, they might not win it for another 100 years. And I don't wish that upon anybody. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, leave it in the comments below if you're going Team Commanders because you want to get Ben Johnson in the building and interview him in person. Same thing with Aaron Glenn. Would you like to interview Aaron Glenn, former Notre Dame or New Orleans Saints player? Good defensive back, good defensive coordinator right now. Sounds like he's very, fired up type personality. Would you like to see them in person? Are you saying go Commanders? Go Commanders, go Washington Redskins, however you want to call them. Are you going for the underdog? Are you going for the lowest seed? Do you want to see them win so we can go ahead and be a little selfish as a Chicago Bear fan and say, damn it, I want to get Ben Johnson in person. Let's put him on a private jet and get his butt over here like we did freaking, Mike McCarthy. And they're probably already thinking, they're like, dude, we don't have to spend as much money on food and whining and dining Ben. He don't eat a whole lot compared to this Mike McCarthy. We're going to save some money. Let's send him the really nice private jet or something. You know what I'm saying? So you think they got a comedian on there or a DJ or something or some dancers? What do you think they got in the private jet? They got a disco ball? What's going on? I mean, if food isn't this guy's vice, what is? How do you get this guy really excited about getting on this jet, guys? Leave it in the comments below. What would you guys do? Huh? Let me know. All right. Ray says Ben Johnson would be good, but I remember we had an offensive coach like him. It was Martz. He had a thick book with trick plays, but it didn't work out. That's why it would be scary because he never was yeah. Yep, I agree, buddy. You never know the other side of things. It might have worked in one building with a certain set of players, but you go to the other side, and can he adapt and overcome? Or is he so stuck in the Lions' way, even though the Lions' way wouldn't work for our players? That's something to think about, guys. We got whole different personalities, different people, different players, different attributes. Can he adapt to the players that we have in the building, or would he force his will on us and make our players adapt and be the Ben Johnson, the Lion way? And it just doesn't work out. What if he read and react and change things around? Can he do that? Or is he stuck on that one way and it just breaks us and it doesn't work out? There's a side on both. There's a way to look on it in both ways, you know. So James says I'd either bring in Flores or Ron Rivera as defense coordinator. That's a good point. If they don't make it head coaches, now they'd be interested as defense coordinator. I'm not sure if Flores leaves the Vikings. I think he would want to stay with the Vikings. 14 wins, playoff berth, run it back, third year with them if he doesn't make head coach. You know what I mean? Although I would like to see him with the Bears. Could we pay him more? Could we make him assistant head coach? Give him a coaching title a little bit higher than defensive coordinator, assistant head coach, defensive coordinator, something like that with extra pay and incentives. Remember, there's no cap on coaches. You can pay them whatever you want, man. Omar says, stop saying he wouldn't hold up. You acting like he started playing football last year. Who's playing football? Who plays football? We're talking about coaches, right? We're not talking about players. Help me out, Omar. We're talking about coaches. We're not talking about players. You talking about coach and play football? I'm not saying anything. I'm saying look at both sides, Omar. Pay attention, please. Get some coffee. Andrew Man 69 says maybe the Bears will get 4 wins next year. Ouch. That would be rough, Andrew. 4 wins? Come on, man. We got 5 this year. You're saying we can't at least get 5 wins or potentially 6 wins? I'm hoping we get at least 8 wins or 9 wins or something. Maybe 10 wins. Who knows? Come on, man. Glass half full, Andrew. Get some coffee. Get caffeinated with Trex, man. Love you, buddy. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Eberflus, DC, and Nagy OC. Come on, Zach. Why you doing that to us, Zach? Why you got to bring back the past, man? The rear view mirror is shorter than the freaking windshield, and freaking be the windshield and not the bug, because right now you're the bug, okay, with the rub on the back with the freaking Eberflus and Nagy. They're not coming back, bro. It's not going to happen, okay? Brad, the Bears fan, says Ben Johnson. We got another Brad in the building, man. Got a double B. Yes, Ben Johnson. He says Ben Johnson. I agree, man. It'd be nice to have him. I think if we get Mike, we will be way better on offense and defense. Brad, the Bears fan, gives us a grade of a B-. That's not bad. That's still passing. That's above passing, okay? The real Dubes says, I don't think Mike is the worst choice for the Bears. Hey, Dubes, that is quite possibly the most realist comment that I've seen. I saw some real good comments this morning, but that is a good comment, my man. Thank you, Dubes. Appreciate you, man. Thanks the last time you came on the show, too. You were very active, man. Very positive, too, if I remember correctly. Thank you, man. Make sure you hit the like button. Appreciate you being active, man. For sure. All you guys being active. Great. Ray says B-. With coaches search, they should also try to get 49ers offensive coordinator. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Why not? Dial it up. Let's go. James Childers says, I'd say B-. C. We've got to shut the critics and doubters up. Here's a good one. Shout out to Teddy Ivy. He's one of the founders of Chicago Sports Podcast. This man came in and helped lay the foundation. He might not always be here. He's providing for his family. He's a road worker, a union brother, and I love him. Thank you for coming in today, Teddy. We appreciate you. Thank you for helping blossom this foundation and really getting all your friends in here and all of the Bears fans and stuff. And I hope we can continue to grow. Ted, I'm sure you probably didn't think we would actually get as big as we did. And this is great, man. I appreciate you. Thank you, Teddy. He says McCarthy always seems to have a decent offensive line. We need a decent offensive line. I agree. I'm okay with Mike, but I want Ben. I agree. I agree on both accounts. I would like Mike. I would like Ben. I would also be entertaining Monken. I'm saying Those aren't even my three. I still got two more outliers, okay? Pete Carroll's in there. I wouldn't necessarily be turning down Aaron Glenn either. I want to know a little bit more about him. I want to get him on the jet and get him over here to Chicago, okay? Let's get it right. Omar coming in with let's not be stupid. Hire McCarthy. Don't see Poles putting his job on the line with another rookie head coach. See, Omar, we've got to agree to disagree here. I don't think that getting a rookie head coach is stupid. If they do their due diligence and ask this guy all the questions, what his coaching tree would look like, what is he going to do, have a full laid out plan. These are the conversations that they have that we don't know. All we can do is read the way that the media drives us into one side. You already see it with Ian Rappaport. You always see it with Adam Schefter. This guy leads us this way. This guy leads us that way. Then you got the other groups out there that trying to lead us in different directions. You got to look at all sides, man, and see what happens. I'm not saying that coordinators are the way to go, but man, he is by far the number one draft pick in the 2025 head coaching pool for sure. Ben is that dude, man. He might be the outlier. So try to think outside of the box. I'm not saying that I don't agree with you. I really would like some guy with some tenure, some guy that's been there and done that. And, are you trying to tell me that even at your age, whoever you are out there at YouTube, that you haven't and continually learn from your mistakes? That just because, are you an ageist? Are you saying that a guy has to be a certain age in order to, course correct? I don't think that's what you're saying. Really think about what you guys are trying to say out there. If you're saying that a guy that's a retread, a guy like an Andy Reid who did well for Philly, but ended up having to go to Kansas City, and look what he's done there. He's quite possibly going to be the first coach to go to 3 Super Bowls. I mean, back to back to back, a three-peat, that's pretty freaking awesome. You know what I'm saying? He's a reclamation project from the Philadelphia Eagles. And what do they look like right now? They've got some egg on their face, and shame on them for booing Santa Claus. All right. Ray says, you are welcome, my friend. Anytime, bear down. Hey, what's up, the Cowboys? Like your profile pic, Mike McCarthy will build a solid offensive line, but defensive trenches will take a minute. Okay. Yeah. And like I said, if you look back and you look at their number one guy, their edge rusher, Micah Parsons, quite possibly the best in the NFL. He's disappointed that he left the Cowboys. Okay. That they couldn't come and agree on a deal. Okay. Jerry Jones is going in a different direction, right or wrong. It's his team. But appreciate the comment. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Billy, coffee is on. About to make some chorizo and eggs, and now I'm listening to tracks. Billy, don't even talk about the chorizo and eggs, bro. I will drive all the way out there for a plate. This guy's got some fire chorizo and eggs at his freaking tailgates, man. 1st and 10 tailgating. Shout out. Teddy Ivy. For a lot of Bears fans, the idea of Mike McCarthy is hard because of the Green Bay years. I agree. PTSD, right? For sure. GJC327. Pete's last OC was also our last OC. Yeah, so was Andy Reid's. And sometimes an OC doesn't do good without daddy in the building, okay? That's how much a head coach can help course correct offensive-minded coaches. You got to have one with the other. They both got to work with each other. And that's what I'm worried about with Ben Johnson. How much does Dan have over Ben? Without them together, is that like Pippen trying to play without Jordan? I'm just saying you always got to think of what GJC is saying. It's hard to look at a guy like Nagy and say, you're not good unless Andy Reid's there. Because we've seen what he looks like without Andy Reid, okay? We've seen Pete Carroll, what he looks like, what Shane Waldron looks without Pete Carroll, okay? We see what Seattle looks like after the architect left the building and is still the senior, what's the word I'm trying to say? He looks over the team, whatever that is, the senior advisor, okay, whatever that fancy title is, okay. He's still there, and that team still looks pretty darn good, okay. So, but like I said, you always need that number one. Everybody wants to be number one until it's time to do number one things, and then they look like number two. No pun intended. Pause. Malou Schaff says, are disappointed at the Bears season this year. Hopefully the Bears can make a comeback to playoffs in new season. Interesting. Brad, the Bears fan. Ben Johnson, number 1. Mike McCarthy, number 2. Cliff Kingsbury, number 3. Not a fan of Todd Monken or Joe Brady. At worst, Brian Flores. Okay. Appreciate your point of view, Brad, the Bears fan. James says Johnson or McCarthy will do something with our offense and defensive lines and get nasty when we start kicking some butts. Appreciate it, James, man. Appreciate you all out there leaving all these awesome comments. You guys are awesome. You guys are great. Your voice is being heard today on Coffee with Tracks. Billy Flores. Sorry, Billy. Billy Flores says punter was the best thing about the season. Okay, Billy liked the punter. Okay, that's not saying much, but it's saying something. Thank you, Billy. Brad says we're not losing Cunningham to Tennessee. We did lose Cunningham to Tennessee. He's not being signed there. Yeah. Oh, well, we're saying the same thing. Yeah, we lost, and that's part of my show. Thank you for reminding me too, Billy. Bradley. Here's the deal, guys. Ian Cunningham is not going to Tennessee. Therefore, we're not going to get a third-round draft pick, compensation draft pick in 2025, and a third-round draft pick in 2026 compensation-wise. Now, he might go to the Raiders. The Raiders have been interested in talking about him as a, assistant GM, whatever, or GM. He might go somewhere else. Who knows, right? We'll see. All right. Darius said, we punted the second most in the NFL. The punter was definitely needed. Yeah, well, I think, what was it, 87, almost 90 punts? It was definitely needed, but a lot of other punters could have punted, that many times, and maybe but it would have been lower than top 16. But, yeah, we definitely needed a punter. And I thought he did a pretty good job, man, okay? But I don't think we should have got him in the fourth. All right, Brad Tadsel. Brad, make sure you hit that subscribe button, man. We need you on YouTube. Appreciate you on Facebook, man. Thank you for commenting, by the way. Hit that like button, guys. Everybody hit that like button. If you guys hit that like button, I get a lot of likes and a lot of comments on the YouTube. After this show, make sure you circle back, get us some comments. We will do another show on the NFL's top free agents of 2025 and which ones look good for the Chicago Bears. We got a lot of cap space. Probably going to have a lot more when Poll starts to cook, okay? Speaking of that, I'm still thinking about chorizo and eggs at Billy's. Brad says Ben Johnson, number 1. Mike McCarthy, number 2. Cliff Kingsbury, number 3. At worst, Brian Flores. I need to circle back on that comment, guys. I don't know about the Flores. Maybe as a coordinator, but you need someone to overlook him and say, hey, listen, let's keep it right. You know what I mean? He helped us out a lot. The defensive start allowing 80 and 90 yards scoring drives. At the end of the day, we still won 5 games, and I don't think it helped Caleb stay healthy at all. All right, Anthony D'Antonio. 49ers getting a starting O-line. The pick after Torrey Taylor. Amageji is horrible. Yeah, Torrey Taylor. Yeah, I like that starting offensive lineman. I agree with you. A lot of people agree with you, for sure. Buckley said we should have drafted a stud center in the 3rd instead of an injured tackle. And yes, the punter ended up not to be the greatest 4th pick. I agree. I'm on board with you. How about getting Leslie Frazier as a defensive coordinator? Big Rig. I already called Leslie. I asked him if he wanted to do an in-person paid appearance, because he was a former great Chicago Bear. And he said he would love to for Tracks. But right now, Tracks, you got to hang on. and be patient because he is a defensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. I did not know that, and he did a pretty darn good job. I'd love to see him come over here. That'd be great. Maybe Mike Holmgren will bring him over, Who knows? Darius says he's not going to root for anyone in the North. Bears only. All right, Darius. Ed Buckley said, I just got my notification from Bears Brass. I'm getting an interview in Fogo de Chao. All right. He's going to get some good food over there, guys. Let us know how that food is. Hey, make sure you get those the doggy bags so you can bring some back to tracks, or maybe sneak me in your freaking carry-on luggage, okay? Throw me in a big old bag. I'd love to be there. Billy Flores says, replying to Ed Buckley, keep it on green. JC, shout out to JC from Buffalo Nation. Teams in the playoffs, man. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We welcome all 32 teams, man. Any team, listen, we all like the NFC, okay? Or the NFL. We all like the NFL, right? We're all fans of the NFL. That's what joins us together. We're football fans. We're a big brotherhood. And, like I said, you've been more successful than the Bears. We welcome everybody, man. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We appreciate you. JC says, Cliff Kingsbury to Chicago, Ben Johnson to the Raiders. Book it. All right. Hey, I appreciate your comments, man. Kellen Moore to Dallas. Kellen Moore to Dallas. He wanted to make sure that was heard twice. He appreciates that. Ed Buckley says, I like that, David. Leslie Frazier to DC. Yep, I would like him too. We'll see how we can make that happen. James Chiller says, I love it if the Bears went 14-3 or 13-4. We take the division, go to the playoffs, and bring home the Lombardi. Wow. Could we rename it? If we start winning a bunch of Super Bowls, could we rename it from Lombardi to something else? We'll be forever the Lombardi, Something more Chicago Bear-centric and not so Green Bay-ish, Just saying, guys. Just saying. JC says Josh McCown and Flores probably go to the Jets or Aaron Glenn. Hey, this guy's got a well-thought-out plan, dude. Wow. Seriously. Shout out Bills Nation, man. Glenn doesn't excite me at all. Okay, he's not excited about Glenn. JC says Bears should see what Steelers would want via trade for Tomlin, and if lift his no-trade clause. Hey, listen, I'm a big, big fan of Tomlin. He would instantly become my number one dude for sure. I would love that. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Hit that like button so we can do another show later. All right, so just got a notification from one of our guys. Sorry about the pause. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Tomlin for sure. That'd be great, man. Darius says, I'm surprised Kellen Moore didn't get an interview with the Bears. It's not over yet. There's still time on the clock. He still might, guys. He still might get one. Hang on. Send out your put it in the box. Put in the Chicago Bears box. Tell them that you would like a Kellen Moore interview. They might listen to you. Heck, maybe they'll even interview Darius. JC says Jason Witten or Kellen Moore will be the Dallas head coach. Jason Witten, the former tight end that played for the freaking Cowboys, he's going to be a head coach? That's new news to me. Diane Breed says, hey, shout out to Diane Breed. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you, man. Let's get a bunch of likes in here. Let's get a bunch of comments in YouTube land after this is over. Once the chat's over, we need all the comments in the YouTube chat, and hit them likes, and we will run it back later on. Maybe lunch with Trax or something. Maybe get a co-host on here and talk to you guys about the top free agents of 2025 and what that means for other teams out there, as well as the Chicago Bears. If you come back, JC, or other guys that are in other teams, we will talk about the best free agents for you guys and what you need. And hold on, this just in, guys, from ESPN, right on the show. Bears trade request for Mike Tomlin rebuffed by Steelers. Adam Schefter this morning at 7:55 Eastern. I'm going to read this to you guys, okay? This is breaking news. This just happened. I'm going to read this per word, okay? Pay attention. This is breaking news on Coffee with Track, Chicago Sports Podcast. I hope you guys got some coffee, okay? Grab your cup. Listen up. From Adam Schefter. Sources, Bears trade request for Mike Tomlin rebuffed by Steelers. The four-letter network is bringing this on. Adam Schefter, senior NFL insider. Make sure you guys hit that like button. And then this is a big show, guys. This is big. The Bears recently called the Steelers to see if they would be allowed to talk to and potentially try to trade for longtime head coach Mike Tomlin, only to have Pittsburgh rebuff their inquiry. League sources were told, ESPN. Discussions never made it to Tomlin, nor would they have been successful even if they did. When asked earlier this week about the idea that a team would inquire about his availability, when in fact at least one team already had, Tomlin responded, "Save your time." At least one other team besides the Bears checked in to the idea that it could somehow try to trade for Tomlin, not only to be informed that the Steelers coach has a no-trade clause in his contract, according to a league source. The inquiring team quickly halted its efforts and moved on, according to sources. Yeah, guys, so that just happened right now. Boom. Dying Breed says Ben Johnson, number 1, Monken 2, Kingsbury 3, Joe Brady. McCarthy has been Jerry's puppet for the last 5 years. I don't think so. I mean, that's, we respect your opinion. Okay. Appreciate you, Dying Breed. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We can agree to disagree. Ed Buckley says he wants breakfast tacos, man. Hey, let's do a live podcast and coffee with tracks in the morning. Let's try to find a venue. Oh, no more trying. We will find a venue that we're going to have a freaking buffet. Okay? We're going to have coffee with tracks. We're going to have a live show. Might get Jim Miller out here. We'll see. Let's pull him out of bed, have him drive all the way from Detroit, maybe a private jet, maybe a helicopter. Who knows? Get him a jetpack. Get him over here. Coffee with tracks. We're going to have breakfast tacos. Billy's going to be doing some chorizo and eggs. We'll do a tailgate, live podcast. Let's go. Run it back. Love the idea, Ed. Let's make it happen, man. Get those tacos going. Would you like some hot sauce on there? Would you want some salsa? What do you want in your taco, man? Let's get all the ingredients and make it happen. Trapakeepa said, "Good morning and bear down." He said he just woke up. Wake up a little bit early, man. Go to bed a little bit earlier. Wake up a little bit earlier. Grab that coffee with tracks. Hang out. Watch a show, man. Thank you, Trapakeepa, for showing up. Hit that like button. We're going to run it back. We're going to do this around noon or so. Lunch with tracks. We're going to break down the 2025 free agency, some of the most expensive free agents, how it would change the Chicago Bears offense, defense, special teams, how that would change our draft plan, all that good stuff. As long as we get enough likes and enough comments on YouTube after the show and we keep it going in the chat. Listen, I was done with the show at about 33 minutes. You guys have hijacked the booty and been freaking keeping it live and lots of comments. And I'm getting to all your comments, man, letting your voice be heard. This is a show made from a fan for a fan, man. This is where your voice matters. Trapakeepa says, "Hope Warren flexes pulls out of the way." I agree, man. Let's see what he's got, man. Let's see what he does, All right. Black Rain says, "Is Ben everyone favorite because of media programming?" That's something to think about. They have been driving the narrative for sure. For sure they have. I wonder if they ever told us that, if they didn't tell us that, if we'd all be thinking the same thing, or would we be on the next flavor of the week? JC says, "Bears should have kept Fields, drafted Alt and Brian Thomas Jr." Listen, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have kept Fields, okay? But I do know that money was helping us in the future. We would have been looking at about 40 mil to keep to keep him in the building. We took that money and put it towards something else. I wish we would have put it more towards the offensive line, but I do agree with Joel Alt and then getting Brian Thomas Jr. in the later round. I agree with that. You and I can agree to disagree on the field thing, but I do agree with getting Joel Alt as the offensive lineman for sure. Let's see what James has got. He says we have a dangerous defense when Marinelli was our defensive coach. I agree, man. Marinelli was a great coach for sure. Trapakeepa says, hit them likes, baby. Ha, Dave Rig, Big Rig. He says, you got my mouth watering for chorizo and eggs, brother. Now it's time for me to get to the Mexican store down the street. All right, man. Jacob Infante says, live, hold on a second. Ian Cunningham won't be getting the Titans gig from Tom Pelissero. The Titans are hiring Mike Borgonzi as their general manager per sources. Yeah, I guess they wanted to go ahead with the Kansas City connection there and somebody that has a little bit better experience as far as like winning. You know what I mean? Kansas City's been winning, so you want to go with that instead of Ian Cunningham. You know what I mean? I think his stock would have been a lot higher if they wouldn't have struggled so much this year and only had 5 wins. Not that that's entirely Ian Cunningham's fault, but he does share responsibility, and teams are looking at that. You know what I'm saying? So, Trapakeepa said, did you hear Greg Olson interview on Desperado? He's a genius. I heard a lot about it, but I haven't listened to it. I'm probably going to listen to it at the gym. I'm going to take my son over and do some tracks with tracks. We're going to stretch it out, probably take him back, go run back to the gym while he's doing his Fortnite, and then I'm going to go do my thing, you know. Yeah, but I'm going to listen to that Greg Olson while I'm doing that, guys. Listen, Sam Simeone says Bears franchise needs God to coach that team and that organization. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you, man. Hit that notification bell. You know, we appreciate your views. Thank you so much, man. Hit that like button. To Cowboys says, wow. Yeah, wow. JC says, what I say, Tomlin the guy. He is the guy, man. You're right. You're a genius, JC. Keep coming back to the show, man. We do want to hear a lot about you from a Bills perspective. We also like to know what happened to Ryan, our offensive lineman that we got from you guys. Why did Ryan Poles like him so much? His mouth was watering. He was just a backup player. He comes play with us. He looks like dog shit. What happened to that guy? Does he look better with Buffalo? Does your quarterback make him look better? Does your offensive line coach? What happened there? How come he looks like dog shit with us? And, the Bills didn't want him, and we trade him for a draft pick. We could get rid of him this year. We save $5 million. You guys want him back? Let me know, JC. Oops, sorry. Ed says, I saw a quick interview with Mike Tomlin. He was asked if he would be interested in waiving his no-trade clause because at least one team had contacted Pittsburgh about trading. He said, don't waste your time. Yucatan Sunshine hot sauce. Yes. I need to try that. Sean, no, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We appreciate your review. Sean No says Tomlin or nothing will ever save the Bears. Wow. Not even prime Tom Brady could save the Bears. Wow. Okay. Appreciate your comment there, Sean. JC says, I can see Joe Brady waiting till next year to leave the Bills, wait for the Bengals job. He has LSU ties with Joe Burrow. Oh, man, that's interesting. That is really interesting. Let's see here. Sean says, I hope you don't. Oh, come on, man. Yeah, so here's the funny thing. Here's the rub about my son. He can actually be whatever fan that he wants. Whatever team that he wants. He does like the Bears, but he doesn't watch him like I do. He's into Fortnite. He's into wrestling. He's into soccer. He's into his own thing. And that's what I love about him. And that's what makes us all special and different in our own way. And that's what I love about JC. He's a Bills fan. And I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Until we play the Bills, then I want to beat the Bills. But yeah, no, I appreciate that. I see what you're saying, though. It's been rough. I'm not going to lie. Anyways, hey, guys. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. I appreciate you guys, all your comments. I appreciate all of your thoughts, your concerns. I appreciate all you guys. You probably already ran through a whole pot of coffee by now. It's probably time to grab some breakfast, make some breakfast. Thanks for hanging out with Trax. Let's see. We got one more comment. JC says, Sean, no, I dealt with losing 4 Super Bowls, then a 20-year dumpster fire. McDermott changed the culture. Hey, man, there you go. There's some positivity in the building for sure. Yeah, like I said, remember your comments fuel the show, so drop them below. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on all the Bears, Chicago sports, and NFL updates right here on Coffee with Trax. Thanks for joining me. I have been your host, Brandon Trax Hyatt. Keep the coffee hot and the Bears talk even hotter. See you till next time, and bear down.